update. In this video I'll give you a fleet update, and the first and most important update is I don't have the Alfa 146 anymore. Yeah, I didn't even have it for 2 months. And I can very easily explain this. I bought the car with a certain expectation, but we all know how old cars can be, and it was a high mileage car, and some niggles will appear, you know. This was a car that I like to drive, but it was not as refined and not as good for trips, longer trips, as the Rover 500. At least this one, that has been completely soundproofed. And it was also not as sporty and as lively as this Alfa 33. Plus, those are cars that I have owned for a longer period of time. The Rover not so much. It has been with us since April 2019, I think. But this car, it has been with me for 4 years now. So if you add all things, you know that the 146 is already at a disadvantage. Then we have the fuel consumption. Coming from Lisbon to Viseu, it seemed reasonable, but I started using it to go to work, and I quickly noticed that it was not very economical. In fact, I gave it a full tank, and in 400 kilometers it already had the yellow light on, which was terrible. I'd say it was doing around 10 liters per 100 kilometers. For my driving style, that's way too much. That's as bad as the BX, but the BX is a carbureted engine, and that carburetor needs some care. So I accept that in that car, not in the 146. Let me pause, because we are now sandwiched between a MGTF and a Mazda MX-5. Not anymore, but it was cool. As I was saying, this could mean that there was some kind of mechanical issue. My friend was not convinced about the catalyst, and the MOT was due in November. Actually, it was due in June, but with the COVID-19, the government has given 5 more months for some cars to get an MOT. This means that this car had to go, so I cleaned it properly, took a few pictures and listed it on the usual websites. And there was a lot of interest because the car was, yeah, do your thing, very firm car. Okay, we can continue. A lot of people were interested. Obviously a lot of lowballers and people that really didn't want to buy it. But there was an honest chap. I immediately noticed that he really was keen on buying this. So he scheduled a day, he came here, took a good look at the car, and off he went with the new Alfa 146. This has been 2 weeks ago, and I really don't regret it. So I'm back to 3 cars. This Alfa 33, my Rover 500, and the Citroen BX. And to be honest, it's more than enough, because I've come to understand that I don't actually want to own a lot of cars, but not be able to either give them the care I want, because I don't have the time, and I also don't want to use them if they are in very bad shape. I can't enjoy them. Some people have different expectations, and I'm not one to say that my car has to be absolutely perfect so that I can really go out on a Sunday drive and feel happy and enjoy my morning drive. But with that being said, you add problems on the body, problems on the interior, mechanical problems, things that don't work, I can't enjoy it anymore. So I'd rather have less cars but be able to do the work I need to do. For example, this car is looking hideous. Sure, there are cars that look worse, but I don't like where this is going. The bonnet started peeling 2 years ago, and other panels are following suit. And why? Because I thought, I'm gonna wait, I don't want to spend money, I'm gonna wait until one day I give it a full respray. Sure, that day will probably come, but it's not because of what other people will say, and I really don't have that kind of problem. I don't have a problem with what people will think of me, otherwise I wouldn't be driving an old car. It's just that I want it to look good, and it doesn't. It saddens me a bit to look at it this way, so I need to paint the whole thing. And the Rover, I also need to paint a couple panels. And that car is leaking oil quite badly for more than a year now. I even managed to get an advisory on the MOT for that. Sure, I can get away with cleaning the engine underneath, but that oil is also going to the timing belt, and that's not good at all. It will last a lot less than it should, and it could break at any time. So I'm really playing with fire. I think what I want to say is the cars are running, but I'm not completely comfortable with any of them. And here's another thing. If I know that I'm not gonna keep a car for a long period of time, I really will be dissuaded of putting a lot of money in it. And that's probably why the BX has seen so little care. I mean, the things that don't cost a lot of money, I have done them. That quick detail, that polishing, reviving the bumpers, cleaning the interior, yes. But not much more than that, because I know that the moment I sell the car, no one is gonna pay me for going the extra mile. As you've seen in the previous video, I've actually found a set of seats for the BX, and I just bought them because I couldn't stand those blue seats that the car had. They were not original. But now that I bought them, and now that I cleaned the carpets, and now that I'm gonna paint some of the interior trim because it's scratched, you know, now that I'm putting in the time and the money, I'm basically saying that I'm not gonna sell the car anytime soon. I'll want to keep it for at least another year or so that I can actually forget. And it doesn't hurt as much if I need to sell it and lose more money than I wanted to. To sum things up, I don't think I'll have more than 3 cars now. 3 cars is actually nice because one of them can serve as a replacement if I need to stop a car for maintenance or I have some kind of issue with it. If the cars were already in pretty good shape, I could afford keeping 4 because it would be just some small maintenance and small fixes here and there. But trying to get all these up to speed to the point they only need that, and let's face it, they are old cars. At any moment they might need a bit more than just regular maintenance. Trying to bring things up to speed is taxing. It's a bit hard on the wallet. And at the same time, I don't want to do one job a month and do the other job the other month, and some jobs you just have to do at once. Anyway, this is probably getting a bit long. I think I've already passed my message. I've sold the 146 because it didn't really have a space in the fleet, and I didn't want to put any money in a car that I wouldn't keep for at least a year or so. And at the same time, I want to take better care of the other cars that I have. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and see you in another video. Bye. Jesus, I can't even open my eyes.